And good evening once again. Day 119 of the Biden administration, and the breaking news we are covering tonight is about the former president. The New York State Attorney General has now joined the Manhattan prosecutors' criminal investigation into Donald Trump's businesses. Tonight, the New York AG issued a statement that reads, quote, "We have informed the Trump Organization that our investigation into the organization is no longer purely civil in nature. We are now actively investigating the Trump Organization in a criminal capacity, along with the Manhattan DA." Given tonight's breaking news, what does this change, this development, mean that the Trump Organization is now under a criminal investigation? What must have been discovered or unearthed to lead to this categorical change?
A lot, Brian. So cray-cray is back. I think for the last 120 plus days, we've forgotten about the constant lurches in the news cycle every day and night with Donald Trump, but it's back now with this official letter. This letter is not like ordinary politics. It's not some statement from Nancy Pelosi or Joe Biden or Kamala Harris. It's not even a Supreme Court loss, of which Trump had many, or a civil fine, of which Trump has paid many. This is a letter talking about jail time. And just to give you a sense how significant it is, if you go on the Trump Organization website, and pardon me, I've never had a demonstrative on before, but this is a picture of the Trump Organization's website right now. And you will see the very first thing, our story, Donald Trump. And then leadership, Eric and Donald Trump Jr. are the two people listed. So now look, I suppose Donald Trump can pull a Ted Cruz and blame his kids here or something like that. But absent that, what this letter is saying is that prosecutors believe that there is, a strong reason to think that the Trump Organization committed various crimes. And remember, the prosecutors here have Trump's tax returns. Trump fought a battle to the Supreme Court, which he lost 9-0 to keep this from the New York prosecutors, but they've got it. Very bad news for him.
So, Neil, let me take a second whack at this. This is New York City and state. Are there any limits on their scope or powers? Can they prosecute for good reason anybody for anything at any time?
Well, they've got to be crimes, of course, but I think the fact that the New York Attorney General, the state prosecutor, is involved is very significant for two reasons. Number one, before this was largely fought by the Manhattan DA, Cy Vance, who's actually retiring. So there's a question about what would happen to that investigation after he leaves this fall. But second, more importantly, the New York prosecutors, the state prosecutors, have a suite of powers called the Martin Act, which is just about the most extensive anti-fraud criminal law of any state in the country. And it gives them sweeping powers. And so what this means in practical terms is that prosecutors are going to do everything they can with their new powers to flip various people in the Trump Organization. We've already had many reports that the CFO, Alan Weisselberg, has been the subject of those kinds of flips. They've even gone after his family and kids. And indeed, Jennifer Weisselberg at one point said, quote, "They, the Trump Organization, control people by compensating you with homes and things. It's not easy to walk away when they provide your home." And so already someone's come forward and said, this is operating a little bit more like what a mob organization or something like that looks like. We've heard this, bandied about in the newspapers by commentators and the like, but it's a really different thing when you have criminal prosecutors saying, look, we think there's something serious here and we're warning you.
How can New York State reach into another jurisdiction? Trump is a Florida man now, having left New York behind. How does that work?
It works pretty simply because the Constitution itself has a clause in it that says if you commit a crime and you go to another state, that other state is obligated to turn you over. And in 1793, Congress passed a law affecting that. So, Governor DeSantis, I know, has been kind of auditioning and trying to be Trump's guy. And Trump has even floated the idea that Governor DeSantis will be his vice president in 2024, which, it's beyond me why that's attractive to anyone. That's kind of like being the drummer for Spinal Tap or something like that. But in any event, that's what DeSantis is kind of signaling. It won't work. If the governor tries to protect Donald Trump, from a prosecution. We don't have a formal prosecution yet of him, but if there is one, if the governor tries, it will be stopped in court every day of the week.